far away. A young karate nerd explores the roots of karate, challenging his mind and body, and sharing his epic discoveries. Jesse Enkamp is the karate nerd in Okinawa.
Yay! It's harder than it looks. Now we're on our way to one of my favorite castles in Okinawa, Zakimi. This place is actually where they held the 100 kata challenge quite recently. The reason they have so many different castles, or gusuku as it's called in the Okinawan language, is because from the beginning Okinawa was not just one kingdom. It consisted of several different small kingdoms that always fought each other. So each kingdom had to build their own castle to protect their citizens and their king. And that's why there are so many ruins of different old gusuku or castles around the whole Okinawa. Oh, and if you're wondering about my stick, it's because I'm a samurai. If you look over there, that's the South China Sea, and then the Kerama Islands right over there, popular for scuba diving and water activities, especially with tourists. And then right over there would be China, Chukoku in Japanese. This stick I'm carrying actually has a pretty interesting story. There's a samurai school of swordsmanship called Jigen-ryu in Japan, and in this particular school, this style, they use a branch like from a tree instead of a practice sword, and they have this huge log that they put on top of these things, and then they just start smashing this log with the branch, with the stick, and they scream like crazy. And the cool thing is that these Jigen-ryu samurai warriors back in the day came to Okinawa, and some researchers think that they practiced this hitting the tree with the stick here in Okinawa, which then influenced the Okinawan people to start doing the same, hitting tree with their fists instead, which is how the makiwara was created. You know, the striking post that I showed you in the dojo the other day. And a lot of people don't know that, but the makiwara doesn't exist in China. Like all of the other strength training stuff that we have in karate, the supplementary training, the tools that we use in traditional karate, you can find them in China as well, except for the makiwara. And that's why some people think that the makiwara was actually influenced by that striking post from the Jigen-ryu school of swordsmanship in Japan. A few weeks back, I was in Miami to teach a karate seminar, and as I'm walking down South Beach, I hear this huge noise behind me. I look back and I see a coconut just smashed on the sidewalk. And now as I look up here in Okinawa at the palm trees, notice that they don't have any coconuts at all. And that's for the exact same reason that I almost got killed in Miami a few weeks back. Because like 50 years ago or so, someone here in Okinawa got hit on the head with a coconut, and ever since that day, they decided to remove all coconuts from the palm trees in Okinawa. And that's why when you're walking down the street here, you won't see any coconuts anywhere. It is now 8 p.m. and I'm at Sansan Beach waiting for something that I've never done before. I'm gonna do something known as Toshi Kashi, which is a New Year's training, because now it's New Year's Eve here in Okinawa. And from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm gonna be practicing in the dojo of Kiyohide Shinjo, one of the most legendary and brutal karate instructors in Okinawa, and multiple times full contact champion as well. And I have no idea what to expect, but I'm sure it's gonna be an experience worth remembering, and probably worth telling my grandkids one day. And best believe I am going to be wearing my white belt in this dojo. You know, a lot of people ask me, Jesse-san, what style do you practice? As if what style I practice is my identity as a karate practitioner. But in case you haven't noticed, honestly, I don't really care about styles. Like, when I'm here in Okinawa, it's all just karate. And the day I stopped looking at styles was the day I started fulfilling my potential and reaching higher goals as a karate practitioner. Because many times your style is holding you back. So, I mean, saying a person should never try another karate style, it's like saying you should never go outside of your own city, the city you were born in. And I mean, if you never go outside to the big world and experience everything else that the world has to offer, that karate has to offer, then how can you ever expect to understand it, right? So don't let your style limit your karate. It's all just karate. Same stuff, different labels. Guys, look. There's a house over there that says karate. Can you see that? Zoom in. I think we got the right place. So, here we are, in the middle of nowhere. But the building says karate. So, I suppose this is where the dojo is. Yeah, actually that sign says Uechi karate at the top. So, let's see what happens.
Kanshu, Seiji, Ish, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5、正面4、1、弾いてよ、8、9、10、1、はい、はい、はい、肘、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、後ろも前も後ろもちゃんとしっかりステージしてはい、押さえる8、正面はい、1、2、3、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、はい、
I am now back in my room. It is 3:30 a.m. Last time I was up this late was probably when I was like 15. And I mean, that was crazy. Imagine starting a karate lesson in 1 year and then finishing in another year. That's exactly what I just did at the Toshi Kashi with Sensei Shinjo Kiyohide. And unfortunately, it was not possible to film most of my own training. So we only got some kata from his students and a little bit of kumite or fighting, sparring. So, but you know, I'm actually not here in Okinawa to film. I'm here to practice. So I'm sorry if you guys wanted to see me practice here, but it was just not possible. So let me just describe a little bit of the training instead. We started with warm-up. Then we did the basic Kihon training of Uechi of this style, which has some very particular or interesting features compared to modern karate. For example, the lack of the regular punching techniques that we usually do, and this kind of fighting stance with the open hands, and the different animals like the dragon, the tiger. This is like the tiger tooth. These kinds of techniques, super interesting. And we also did some bunkai, some practical applications to their kata. And Shinjo Sensei taught me Sanshin kata and Kanshi wa, 2 katas. And I got some really nice private feedback and instruction also on how to breathe, how they do this kind of intra-abdominal pressure to make their whole body into one solid structure. Almost like in the Goju-ryu style, but not really the same thing. And then finally we finished the training with some kote kitae, some strength and conditioning for the ude, for the forearms. And I'm gonna have some nasty bruises here tomorrow, because I had to train with one of his most senior black belts. I mean, the only people who attended this Toshi Kashi training session, this New Year's training, it was like his most advanced group of black belts and 4 kids. That's it. And then we also did low kicks to the legs. And honestly, I can't take low kicks to the legs because it's like a natural instinct to either move away or hit back or block. But you're just supposed to stand there and like take these kicks to the legs, because that's what they do. But of course, the purpose of the exercise is not maybe a technical one, but more of a mental, spiritual one. So I totally get that. But like I said, I'm gonna have some nice bruises on my body tomorrow because everything hurts. But I'm super happy.